Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Here we go. Just gonna do a random update. What I have here. Car has a bunch of shit on it, as you can see. I'm collecting parts basically, and I'm also creating a room here. I'm gonna bring the boat back. So what's gonna happen is all that stuff you see up there, top, that's all boat stuff, like life jackets and tubes and a bunch of other stuff. So that's gonna come down, and then like I'm gonna take that apart and a bunch of other stuff here, and that's gonna go up there. I've basically been doing that for the past almost 2 years now, because I got this car in 2019. So that's what's happening now. So there's just stuff sitting here right now, and then when that goes, all that stuff's gonna go up there, and then I'll give me some more room. But I want to make a quick update because I've done some little things here and there, and I kind of want to go over what I've done and then also what the next steps are to get this thing going. As you can see, that wheel is obviously on the wrong side. That's the right one. I just have that one there because these are the wheels that came on the car, and I ended up stripping them completely, and that's raw metal, as you can see. And I like the way these look. As you can see, I just put some like, it's called premium stripper, like a spray paint, or like a spray paint stripper you get from like Menards. And it does such a good job. It brings the stuff, it's just raw metal. This is smooth and this is just cast. And I like the look of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue to do this. That wheel has a scuff on it from, I think, just poor, see what I can find here. Poor casting, because that was under, these things are like painted. It's hard to see, but you can see that right there, that little scuff. It's gonna drive me nuts, so I don't think this wheel is gonna stay on here. I have the wheels, that wheel will go on that side, and I already have one on there on the passenger side, so that side's all good. So I might have to get two driver side here, just get some used ones. And I need to get ones from 91 to 93, because 94 up, they have like a seam on each one of these blades. They don't match, so you have to get the ones from 91, or yeah, I think 91 to 93. They're all smooth. And then 94 up, it's like right here, they have like a little seam that goes here. So I like these wheels as a kid, especially seeing Corvettes, and they have these cool saw blades. So I mean, is that not cool? Saw blade style. So yeah, I want to keep these wheels. I thought about getting like C5 wheels or C6, but I'm gonna stick with these. So that one's gonna go on the other side. Just have it there right now. The one, I have another one, but it's bent, so it's basically trash. I tried to fix it. It wasn't gonna budge. So there's a couple guys that I can find on Facebook Marketplace that sell them for, you get a whole set for like 120 bucks, 150 bucks. So it's like, I'm just gonna nab up a whole set and then just clean up the set for this side and probably clean up the other and just store them as spares, just for the hell of it, because it'd be nice to have some spare wheels, especially with them as nice as they are. I mean, they look brand new in my opinion doing this. So that's on the wheels. I think the only thing that I haven't mentioned was I've done one of the crossovers. I haven't jumped on the other one yet. This, I do want to eventually have it the way it is. It's welded here and then V-band here. I would like to cut it and put a V-band like right here. But this is kind of nice because you can actually take this off and loosen this. And once you just twist this, it comes off. Like I have it perfectly set to where even though this is welded and you bolt this on, all you have to do is just turn the wastegate and turn it back, and you can get it tight enough. You just basically just tap it, like lightly tap with a hammer, and then it'll go. You hear it. Like when I did that with this, all I did was I took it, I'm like, oh man, it's so close. I took a hammer, I tapped it, and then the seating rings that are in here, when they suck, when they sunk in and caught, it was like dunk, you could hear it, and the pipe sat inside the seat, and put the clamp on, and we're good. Now obviously like heat cycles and stuff, this stuff is gonna wanna do its own direction, so there might be some binding and stuff. So I would like to just maybe like right here and just put a V-band clamp, just so there's a little bit more give when this stuff heats up. I'm gonna do it on that side right off the bat, so this will eventually happen. But I mean, we have it here, it should work, and then everything else is good. I still have to do put my grounding wire back on. Transmission's in the car. I don't know if I had that in my last update. Turn the light here, and you're gonna see a C-beam under here. 1 second. That is not gonna be the C-beam in the car. So, C-beam, an adapter mount that a buddy of mine made. You can see it goes all the way across to the Dana 44, but I don't like how the beam was cut, and that's me that cut it. It's just really weird. I need to line it up better. So I ordered another used one. It was like 43 bucks, shipped to my house. So we're gonna recut it and do that. And then I think we'll be good here. But yeah, you can kind of get the idea on how that connects. It's a beefy ass mount on that thing. And it should work. So that's probably the one that's really been killing me to keep going progress on this thing, and also just doing house projects. And then this whole area through here has just been a mess. Like, it's still kind of a mess, but basically everything like right there from my youngest's little 4-wheeler with an M18 in it, or M18, M12. Like, this whole area has just been a mess. So trying to get over by the car has been annoying, and I've got to clean up because this is where the boat sits. My wife gets this area, and then my truck sits outside. But when you get the boat in here, it sits at an angle because it's basically from the fold-away tongue to the outboard, or the outdrive on it. It's an inboard. It's 23.5 feet. So this garage is 26, and that's 24. And if you bring it in, basically, I think it's almost 24 feet because I tried to bring the boat back in here, and when all that stuff wasn't there, and having the stern drive as low as it'll go and having the prop hit the wall, you could not close that door. It was about an inch short. So when you pull it in here and you put it at an angle, the tongue comes out here, and basically all you do is you just walk around and you have all this open space next to the boat where it's just dead space. This will be gone because that goes back to the shed when I go get the boat, and then this is all just trash right now that needs to go in the trash. So I'll have my working space back as summer comes, and then I'll continue to keep working on this. I'm gonna order some more parts for it and get that going. I wanna get this thing on the ground here pretty soon. I need to get tires for it. I got the drive shaft. Let's see if I can show this. So I got a drive shaft here, and there just went a, look at, just went a cap. Hopefully I didn't lose any needles here. See if I can find where that cap went. This is the fun stuff about doing this. You move stuff around, and then you're like, oh, hey, all this working stuff. Yeah, so we're good. Put the cap back on there. Okay. Should probably get some tape and tape that. You know, I might do that. It'll probably come off again. That's my luck. But I do want to show you this. So, sit there. Don't move. Okay, just roll down. So, yeah, sweet, perfect. So, I ordered a drive shaft from the company Action Machine Inc. You can see their information there, South Bend, Indiana. This was perfect. They wanted 2 measurements. I measured it. I measured it, sent the measurements, and a guy contacted me within like 3 days, and he's like, "Is this going in a 4-wheel drive vehicle? Because you have a 4L80 yoke and a very short drive shaft." And we're thinking they assumed it was like the front drive shaft, I think. And I'm like, no, it's actually in a 2-wheel drive 92 Corvette. And I gave them the whole specs, and they're like, okay, well, we're not super familiar with the 4L80, especially in that car. I'm like, yeah, because it very rarely in the car at all. Like, there's a couple guys that have done it, but not many. But I gave them the measurements, and like a week, this was at my door after he emailed me. So basically by the time I ordered this thing, and basically by the time I ordered it to my door, it was like a week and a half. Like, it's insane how fast that was. And it fits perfect. I've already tested it. I threw it in the car without the C-beam in there, and it's perfect. So if you're going to do the same damn thing that I am and take an LT1 car. I can't speak for the L98s or anything else because the cross member is a little bit different in the mounting stuff. But if you do an LT1 car, 92 to 96, and you use the generic small block Chevy to LS adapter plates that go in the engine, you put the adapter plates as far forward as you can, and you put a 480 on it, you need a 20, I will post it in here, I think it's a 27.25 inch measurement for the drive shaft. And then that is a 1310 yoke, slip yoke for the transmission. And the transmission, it's a small counter bore. And then you can see the splines going there. Oh, there it goes. But you can see it in there with that damn cap. So yeah, you can see the counter bore here. I don't need the counter bore because it's fully splined. This transmission came out of a van and the spline is full. Like there is no O-ring. It's got a cup on it that goes like around here, and there's actually an air like cushion when you put it on. So when this goes on, you have to really push it into the transmission output shaft on it to make it fit. Otherwise it wants to push itself back out. But after you let it sit there for so long, when I went to pull the drive shaft back out, it wanted to suck to the transmission output shaft. So it's really nice because I mean, obviously that's going to keep it from leaking. But just to let you know, for my situation, I had the full output shaft. But the measurement was, I believe, 27.25 or 27.75. I'll put it down in the description. I'll put what the size was of the drive shaft if you decide you're going to do like the same setup. To me, this was the easiest setup, so that's what I did. So going to set that off to the side. So actually I'm going to put that on my workbench right now. It gets annoying in the car, so set it there. We're good. The other stuff, I got part of my cage. I ordered a 8-point cage from Jegs, and it comes in 2-piece. Comes with the main hoop, and then it comes with an 8-point strut kit. And I just have this sitting here. Basically, what would happen is you'd have this connected to your main hoop, and this would be where you would obviously hook up your like your 4-point or 5-point harness. I'm just gonna probably do a 4-point so I can submarine myself and crush my balls when I crash. But that would be on the main hoop, and then I have the other stuff up here. They come with partially notched bars, and then those are 1/8 inch flat plate on there. I just did a little bit of welding. I wanted to test the welder on it, so I did a little bit on there. But I'm not going to weld it myself, I don't think. I'm just going to tack it and then bring it to a buddy of mine that can help me do that with their equipment. But that's on there. And then I just have a mess in here. All that distilled water is basically going to be used to flush the whole cooling system on this car. I'm going to put 2 like 5-gallon pails with each other with a filter inside, and then my boat pump. It's like a pond pump that pumps water through my engine when I winterize it. And what it'll do is it's gonna pump it along with the actual pump in the car, because I'll actually run it and get everything flowing through. It'll run distilled water through it, flush everything out, filter it out, and continue to keep flushing distilled water into it. And then what I'll do is I'll pull the hoses, drain it, and then I'll fill it up with full like deck school. That way I can get my 50/50 in here and then make sure I have the whole coolant stuff set up. So that's what I'm gonna do with that. I've done it before. I did my Firebird. It works really good, except the system that I use, I threw in the garbage when I moved, so I have to make a new one, which is fairly cheap. It costs like $15 in parts to make it, and then I just use the same pump. So other than that, the thing I mentioned before is I'm gonna order some more parts. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do here. I'd like to get tires on this thing. I need to get 2 more wheels, strip them, get tires on this thing, get the C-beam in. I have obviously the drive shaft, so I'll get that in here. I have to do the other side of the rear end, get the half shaft in, get the shocks, all that stuff in, and then that'll be done. We can drop the car. I put the exhaust on. I'm putting the stock exhaust on there, so you can see it over there. Obviously the center resonator is gone, which is fine because it's still got the, you see it, it's got the big boys on each end. And then obviously the turbos do a pretty good job at muffling the noise. So it should sound stock. Get the muffler in there, get that hung, get it on the ground. And then what we can do is we can basically do the minor details, get the brakes all connected, get the brakes working, the power steering reservoir or the power steering pump, we get all that stuff flushed, get the fittings for that, get lines on there so we have power steering. And then I have this right here that powers all the interior stuff that runs through the firewall, and then that way we can make sure all the interior stuff is running. I'm gonna pull that ABS brick out and tee all that stuff because I'm not running ABS, and then we can get that thing out of there, lighten it up too, and then clear up some space for some storage. But yeah, we're just gonna do a little bit of work this summer, just the little itty bitty ends, get this thing on the ground, do that to where we can actually like start the car, drive it out. I have to put fluid in it, get a dipstick for the 480. I got the tube in, so you can see the actual dipstick tube itself. So I gotta get a dipstick for it, and I can cut it and get that in and measured and get that filled so we can actually pull the car out of the garage. And then what I want to do is once it's actually pulled out of the garage, I want to start getting out there and start painting it, or not painting it, start sanding it and get ready for paint. So this thing is going to be yellow. I've already concluded on the color. It's going to be yellow. So we have to make sure we get all this stuff down. I'm not too worried about the interior, but we need to make sure all this stuff gets sanded right and prepped, and then we can primer it, and then we can lay down our base coat, clear coat, and then go from there. So that's going to be a job in itself. I mean, we're talking months and months and months, but I will continue to make updates as I go with this. The painting is going to be the boring part for me anyways, because I'm not a huge fan of painting. I don't know if I'm going to do it. My father-in-law used to own a body shop. He's done painting, but I also might bring it to, like, they have a couple colleges here, not too far where I live here in a bigger town, that they have auto body guys that they like to have the stuff brought in, and then obviously the kids can do it. I want this thing to be a 5-foot car, basically from 5 feet away. It looks good. Anything up close, I don't care, because it is a budget build. It's not supposed to be a show car. So other than that, that is the update. I also have to get the rear end filled. I have it right there, the 75 W90 synthetic. It does not need a, what do they call it, like a limited slip additive right there. Contains limited slip additive right in here. So it'll probably take one of those and partially another one, and everything's good there. So it's just little bits and pieces here, you know, tires, fluids, lines, all that stuff. And then we can get this thing out the freaking door and start sanding it down, getting ready for paint. Interior is gonna be the last thing. I know it sounds weird, but the interior is gonna be the last thing other than the cage. I'm gonna start working on the cage, because obviously that's gonna have to be done first before I start laying like my outside carpet, my sound deadening, which is up there, right there. And then I do obviously want to put speakers in the car. What I mean speakers is I'm just putting, with the stock here, I'm just putting 2, and then a little CD player here, Bluetooth, so I can actually like make hands-free calling. Because like I said, it's still a budget build, but I still want to make it to where my wife can drive it. And I can just, you know, turnkey, start, go to work, do all the fun stuff, and then also basically kill yourself on the weekend if you want to go to the drag strip. So that's the update. Let me guys, if you have any questions. Other than that, I'm gonna continue to keep working on this thing, get the boat in here, and I think I'm gonna order 2 more, or not order, no, I need to find 2 more wheels, but it's probably gonna be a set, and then order the small other bits and pieces to get this thing so we can get it on the ground and out the door. My birthday is on July 27th. It's gonna be out the door before my birthday. That is the challenge, so let's see if I can do it. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye!